The call was about a missing person from 1876. What we found was worse than a body. My phone screamed at 3 in the morning, the kind of sound that means someone is dead or dying. I fumbled for it, my head thick with cheap whiskey and stale sleep. Casimir. My voice was gravel. Kaz, it's Navid. He sounded 1,000 miles away, static hissing around his words. We got a hit. On one of the old ones. A real old one. What, a print? DNA? A pause. The static crackled. Both. Thing is, the DNA connects to a missing persons report. I wouldn't call you on a Saturday for this, I swear, but you need to see it. I sat up, the room spinning. Okay, Navid, what case? He listed a few names, cold files that were basically department folklore at this point. Then he landed on the one, Anselm Roth. The name meant nothing to me. Never heard of him. You wouldn't have, Navid said. His voice dropped. Banker. Had a wife, a half-dozen kids, left his office one evening in Chicago to walk home. Never made it, and we just found his body. A grim satisfaction. A closed case is a closed case. Not exactly, Kaz. What does not exactly mean? Another stretch of static-filled silence. I could hear wind howling on his end. It means the report I'm looking at was filed in 1888. I laughed, a dry, painful bark. Funny. The line's cutting out, Navid. I thought you said, the line is fine, Kaz. 1888. I need you out here. 30 minutes. You'll need a plane. What's the address? It's not an address, Navid said. And for the first time I heard something in his voice that wasn't professional exhaustion. It was awe. Or maybe terror. It's a hole in the ground in the middle of nowhere, Nebraska. My wife Ilara asked me once if I believed in forever. She was all tubes and pale skin, the cancer eating her from the inside out. I didn't know how to answer. She smiled, a faint, sad thing. I'd take it, she'd whispered. Any version of it. A year later, I stood in the rain at her funeral, the world feeling gray and final. I wished I could have given her any version of it. After the bumpiest flight of my life, a local deputy drove me out into a landscape so flat and empty it felt like the end of the world. We pulled up to a cluster of temporary floodlights and tents surrounding a fissure in the earth. A wound. Navid met me at the edge, his face drawn and sallow under the harsh lights. How long you been here? I asked, pulling my collar up against a wind that felt ancient. 4 days. Feels like a month. Talk to me. We've identified 23 of our cold cases down there. So far. There are more. It's not a gravesite. Then what the fuck is it? He just shook his head and led me toward the fissure. We descended a rickety set of metal stairs into the dark. The air grew thick, humid, smelling of damp soil and something else. Something vaguely sweet. Fungal. We ducked under a limestone archway into a vast cavern, and I saw them. In neat, deliberate rows stretching into the gloom, people lay on simple earthen cots, hundreds of them. They weren't dead. I could see the slow, almost imperceptible rise and fall of their chests. From each person's mouth ran a thin, clear tube that disappeared into the packed earth beneath them. A pale, viscous fluid, like thinned milk, pulsed sluggishly within the tubes. A low hum resonated through the chamber, a collective, sleeping sigh. A woman was moving between the rows, her steps silent on the damp ground. She was adjusting the tubes, wiping a brow here, murmuring a soft word there. Navid stopped me before I could draw my weapon. That's Persis, he whispered. The caretaker. We'd found her down here. She wasn't arrested because she hadn't committed any crime we could name. She looked up as we approached, her eyes clear and calm. They are resting, she said, her voice a melody that was horribly out of place. Resting? Some of these people have been missing for over a century. The long sleep requires patience, she said, turning her attention back to a young man on a cot. It is a covenant. They chose to be part of the garden, to be tended until the world above is quiet again. Navid finally led me to the one he'd called about, Anselm Roth, born 1852. He lay on his cot, his skin the color of bleached parchment, so thin I could see the web of blue veins beneath. He wasn't withered, just soft. like his bones had dissolved. Fine white filaments, like cobwebs, grew from the corners of his eyes and lips, rooting him to the damp soil of his bed. His eyes fluttered open as I leaned closer. They were milky, ancient. His lips moved, and a sound like dry leaves skittering across pavement filled the silence. "You woke me, Mr. Roth," I began, my voice catching. "We're here to help you. You've been—" His body trembled, a slow, gelatinous ripple. The movement was profoundly wrong. He wasn't becoming a mushroom. He was something else. He was the soil and the roots and the rot. "Help?" the rustling voice whispered. The milky eyes focused on me. There was no fear in them, only a vast, terrible peace. "We do not need help. We are becoming. The great below, it sings to us. It feeds us. Soon, we will be everywhere. We will be everything." He took a slow, rattling breath. "Why would you want to wake up from a dream like that?"